Good morning, everybody, and welcome to today's 747. I am Whitney. No, I am not Pastor Rini today. Yeah, we're all hopping in this week. So, very nice to have everybody with us today. We are starting the book of Job. Yesterday, we started chapters 1 and 2. And today, we're jumping into chapters 3, 4, and 5. We're going to focus on chapter 3 today, though. It's got some good stuff in it. So, Job. Job is that wonderful, uplifting book that we all know and love. But there's some really great lessons inside of Job. You know, God has specifically put the books, these particular books in the Bible for a reason. You know, so obviously Job is there for a reason for us to read and learn from what God was teaching him there. So, um, jumping into Job, we know that Satan goes to God and he says, I'm going to test him. And God says, yeah, that's fine. And so Job is just this really upright man. He followed God's rules. He um, does right, you know, all these different things. And he is being tested. And his family is taken away. His wealth is taken away. Everything is taken away from him, his health, all these different things. And so Job is absolutely miserable. Everything. He's mourning his family. His health is gone. He's suffering greatly right now. Um, and so then we go through this period where he's quiet. He's not saying anything. And in chapter 3, he finally breaks his silence. Um, so we jump in here, and this is Job crying out to God. And then in chapters 4 and 5, his friends speak up. You gotta love Job's friends. The first one starts with an E. I can't remember his name. I'm sorry. Um, Eleazar, maybe. I'm sorry, guys. But he's first of the three friends to speak up, and basically, this guy comes out and says, "Well, Job, you're suffering because you sinned." And Job is like, "No, no, I know better. I didn't. That's not because I have sin hidden somewhere in my life." And that's really the argument that takes the rest of the book. Is his friends come out and they're like, basically, you know, Job, you're suffering because you have some hidden sin somewhere in your life. Only people who sin have bad things happen to them, and if you live a good life, then good things happen to you. Well, we all know, because we've been Christians for more than 5 minutes, that that's not really the case. Things happen to our lives, trials, pain, it comes, and we deal with it, but we know that we have someone that we can trust in, and that's what we're going to focus on today. So do not listen to their friends. They are not correct. Um, you know, and that really just teaches us not to judge others by what they're going through. If you see somebody and they're going through an incredibly hard time, you know, we can't look at their life and be like, they're sinning somewhere. No, we can't judge them. We don't know what's going on in their life. We don't know why things have happened. That's God. That's God's judgment. That's not ours. So that's 4 and 5. But today we're going to focus on 3 because it's got some really good stuff in it. So as we go into 3, Job breaks the silence, and he basically does 3 questions. And the first question he says was, why was I ever born? Now remember, Job is suffering extremely. So, of course, he is questioning things. Why was I ever born? Why am I even here? And at this point, he's so miserable. He just is longing for death to come. And so he's questioning those things. If I was never born, I wouldn't be dealing with this. And he really is cursing the day that he is born. He's not cursing God, he's cursing the day that he was born. And he feels like all the joy that he's had in his life, all the good things, really seem like no value now, as he's dealing with all of this pain and suffering, and all the stuff that he has to endure. You can see the pressure is really increasing here for him. and he's kind of starting to break and to crumble. I mean, so much to handle, and he's really kind of not handling it well anymore. Um, and I think it's harder for us to deal with something like what Job is going through, this unexplained suffering. If we understood it, it would be a lot easier. You know the why it's there, or where it came from. Um, but when it seems pointless and it's just happening, and you're just like, why am I suffering so much? Um, we it puts a lot of strain on us. It's very terrible. And that's what Job is experiencing here, and why he's crying out, "Why was I ever born?" Again, not cursing God, but cursing the day that he's born. So he's still not sinning and yet cursing God or anything like that. He's just like, why? So his second question comes out, and he says, "Why didn't I die at birth?" Again, his life feels totally meaningless right now. And he's questioning, why didn't I die? Why can't why can't I have that rest? To him, and especially during the Old Testament, death is seen as that time of rest. They don't see, the hope that we have today. Um, but they see that as like a time of rest, the quiet after the troubled life. But eventually we get to the end of Job, and he has his little encounter with God, and his view definitely changes towards the end of that. So good for Job. But at this point, he is just so miserable, and he's just questioning God, which I think we all do. God, why is this happening? What is going on right now? And that's exactly what Job is dealing with right now. Why was I born? Why am I here? Why didn't I die? It's so much. He's just like, ah. So then we get to his third question. He's going through all the emotions. Why didn't I die right now? And again, there's so much misery and anguish happening in his life right now that he's just like, take me, Lord, take me now. And I don't think it's anything that he's like thinking of killing himself. It's more of like, God, please just take me home right now. Don't let me sit here and be miserable. Just take me home right now. And I think, how many times have we thought about that? Like, there's so much pain and suffering. You're just like, oh, Lord, just please take me home now. Like, I don't want to suffer anymore. And that's what he's looking for, that release of like, I don't want to do it anymore. I'm done. I've had enough. um, but I think that's one of the reasons why God gives us this book, is that we see how much suffering Job goes through, and know that there's always that hope. Even when you feel like life has no meaning, even when you feel like there's no joy, there's always that hope in Jesus. And it also shows us that, it's okay. It's okay to feel that pain. Just because you have pain and trials in your life, it doesn't mean that you've lost your faith. Like what the his friends were saying, "Oh, it's because you have sin in your life. You can't be close to God." And that's not it at all. You can go through trials, you can have hurts and pains in your life, and know that you can go to God and ask him to help you through this. Job goes through all of this stuff, and eventually God brings him out of it and blesses him more on the other side. And it's a good reminder for us that it's not all happy, good, wonderful rainbows. I know this is not very a happy message, but it's a hopeful message. Yes, there's happy times in our life, but yes, there's painful times in our life too. And we've all been there. We all know it is not sunshine and rainbows every day, but there is the hope that we are going to make it through, because Jesus went through that too. Jesus went through the times of trials and temptations. Shoot, remember, he went out to the desert and was tempted there, but he made it through, and he didn't sin. and he did all the things. He was crucified for goodness sake. So he understands the suffering. He gets it. And that's why we have Jesus. He sympathizes with us, but it also lets us draw closer to him. And God says that we can come to him because Jesus understands and he gets it. And when we are in our pain, we can cry out to him and he will be there and he will give us mercy and he will give us grace to walk us through those times. So when you're struggling and you are in pain like Job and crying out, going, "Why, God, why?" He is there for you and he will walk alongside you and he will bring you out of that valley. Think about how many times in the Psalms um, were dealing with something crazy. Think about David, how many times David dealt with something crazy. And God will bring them through. And that's why Job is so important to us. It's those lessons that we can learn from that. Like, yeah, there's hard times, but God's gonna break us, not break us, He's gonna bring us through it. And He's going to love us through it. And He's gonna show us that mercy and grace and bring us out and bless us on the other side. So that is your hope, friends. That is your hope for today. That no matter what you are dealing with, God is there with you and He is going to pull you through it. And it's okay to be sad and to have that pain, but know that you have a hope in Jesus. So that is our message from Job 3 today. I know poor Job, dude had to go through a lot of stuff, but God brought him through. So I'm going to pray for you guys and we are going to have a wonderful day. Lord, I thank you for Job. I thank you for the lessons that we can learn from his life, Lord. Lord, I know that people are dealing with pain and trials and all the things, Lord. Life is hard. But we have hope in you, God. And I pray that they hear that today. Lord, that you are there with them, that you will walk with them, you bring them through the valley of the shadow of doubt. Mess that up. But Lord, Lord. And I just pray that you would just show them your love and your mercy and show them that you are always there for them, that you will bring them through, Lord. You are the rock that they can lean on. And I just thank you for that hope, God, that there's always something better to come. And so I just pray that right now in Jesus' name. Amen. All right, friends. Have a wonderful day, and we'll see you later. Bye.